There's someone, Sam, hey, can you get on this live in like another room and say what you can hear and stuff like that?
Are you ready?
Yeah. We got this.
What's the YouTube?
Just look up WSA.
It's Western Studio Association.
Just hang out.
It'll be good.
No.
What painting?
Awesome. Now that we've got
So then
that.
I can manage the chat.
Look at us twinning with us.
That's why information utilization for there.
All about.
Also, check it on the website.
It is.
Yeah. It's not 60 seconds delayed.
Why do I think it's
He's giving us numbers, like he's gonna address us as numbers. Do you know who's on what side yet?
Who's what?
Who's on what side?
Whichever side you want. What side do you prefer? Really doesn't
I
matter.
don't know. I can take this one.
Go to the cameras off, can you fix?
They got the fancy circle mics.
Yeah.
What time is it?
Okay. 44? Okay. Thank you.
So prepared. A lot more prepared than 2 years ago, so.
Does this... There are speakers over there. Do they work? They should work. Also, let me know if you hear me through the thing.
Say that again.
Oh, wait, hang on. Change that back real quick. I think the mics were off. That's dumb.
I think we all got the same things.
The mics were off.
Be on.
He told me they were off. Like, this one's off. Now it's on.
That one would be good.
Those aren't controlling it for some reason. Hello? Hello? Does that sound echoey? Does that sound echoey? Hello?
I can hear that.
You can hear an echo? Yeah, I hear something. Whatever. That's what we're going with. Could you check the sound on YouTube for me, Lila, please? Someone?
I don't know. How do you do?
I guess just go into the video and listen.
Okay, yeah, so it sounds like, okay. It's not like a.
Yeah, there is not.
They heard me. All right.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's perfect. Look at that. Look at that. That's beautiful. That's perfect. Okay.
Anyway, where do you want? The first three in the front three corners are you by three. These, this, and these are in the left. I'm back here. I'm back here. All right, I'm in front of them.
Hello? Okay, still testing. Yes. Hello? Okay. Whatever, that's okay. Don't mess with that.
I'm not touching.
We don't. I barely got it going. I don't want. What was that? Leave me alone. I'm gonna blind you with this.
I need my laptop to massage. I'm gonna break something.
I put my laptop in the sock. So.
You're off.
All like, yeah, no. Someone stole it.
Where is it?
Okay. Withdraw. For those, all right.
If you got the white card, just leave it where it is.
Attention, attention. For those in this room. For those in this room who are here for the debate, feel free to log on to Slido, that's sli.do, and put in this code. You can ask questions. I'd like to people to start submitting their questions now, so that we have them in time. That is all. Also, those who said I look like a principal, you get detention. All right. Oh, yeah, you know what? Send. Withdraw. Does anyone have a quarter they feel like parting with?
We do a virtual
Virtual what?
quarter class.
Is that what you want?
Yeah, that's easy.
All right.
Unless Sam wants to volunteer for school.
Do I have a quarter? Guys, I have a quarter. Can I flip it?
If you want to be the flipper, that's fine, but wait till we start.
Can I be the flipper?
You can, yes, you can be
I'm about to fumble this quarter on live TV.
on live. Yeah, okay.
Oh my god!
Do we have overtime rules like the NFL?
I'm gonna just practice. No one listens.
Luckily.
I have.
Oh God, I'm so bald.
If you're left today, it's gonna fall back.
I'm so good.
You got the best flipper in town.
Flip it.
I know Mark.
I see you're trying to figure out who wants this.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to offend you in any way, shape, or form. With this.
We'll have to
I'm
talk
so
later.
sorry.
We'll have to talk later.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
You can begin to be guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Oh, behind the back.
Your parents were out.
This is actually that's going into.
Assistant to the vice principal.
Yeah.
Can someone do another check on the audio on YouTube? I'm paranoid. Thank you.
That's why.
Okay.
Can you speak into the mic so I can wait a minute?
Hello, blah, blah, blah.
Alright, that's enough Dakota for it.
That's enough for now. Okay. Just paranoid. Ideally, as long as no one touches that computer, we'll be good. What are you saying, Griffin?
I thought you were Paul at first.
Oh. Yeah, I look exactly like Paul. It's just this, right? That makes me look just like Paul.
It's like
Y'all
a
look
minute too slow, but okay. However.
It's like plots for Sam. It's like plots for Sam is starting the third version.
Come on. All right, I got nothing else to do right now, so. Hi, Sam. Biden versus Palin, the 2008 vice presidential debate. That's what's being suggested right now.
What?
One of the suggested videos is Biden versus Palin, the 2008.
Let's just play that.
Just play that. We'll play that. We won't do
Let's
any of
just
this.
play that instead.
All right.
I said the place.
Oh, yeah, again, I.
Really, really,
Yeah, I
How's it looking, Lila? Good? Yeah, you can hear me? Great.
No, I have.
Attention, 5 minutes until we begin. 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Candidates begin getting prepared.
I just can't wait. Oh, yes, I'll get out of that. Or you just like get it for your face. Or, like, yeah, or like, wow.
Can I ask you a question?
Wow.
Are like,
Do you want to pray it?
are all the questions going through Slido and then you're asking them, or like
They're gonna
audience
come through.
people ask?
They're gonna come through Slido. I will ask them. If people here want to, I think I'm just gonna do them all through Slido. I don't. Yeah.
Within the.
Familiar with the rules?
Good luck. We got this.
Both of you familiar with the rules?
Yeah.
Any questions?
Just rephrase how answering questions.
That's up. So what I'm gonna have is it will be 1 minute.
1 minute.
1 minute each,
And then
with a 30-second response time or rebuttal if necessary. If it goes into, if it's a sort of back and forth thing, we can allow a 30-second back and forth 4 times.
More time.
4 times. That also said, it will start the first person to one who opens. Hey, Jacoby. The next person will the one who opens starts it.
good luck.
Thank you.
You'll
Thank you.
I don't get a good luck.
You don't need it.
I don't, you know I don't. The next person, so say one flips, he goes first. You'll answer the first question first.
Okay.
And then he'll respond. And then we'll go back and forth.
Okay.
Understood? You got that too?
Yep.
Sounds good.
3 minutes too.
Is it gonna mess with this if I touch it?
Mess with what?
The microphone.
I think so. Well,
You should turn it on.
we will
Oh,
turn.
this one.
Don't touch that.
Don't touch it.
I mean, you can use it to. Okay, I think you can use this to mute yourself. I haven't tried that because.
You did.
Hello. Oh, well, stop touching it.
Alyssa,
Okay.
you and I just mute.
All right. Hang on. Before we
The
begin.
entire debate is just me and Alex muting and unmuting.
If there's like a timer or something. Timer?
We don't know who's meeting on the stands. Are you guys going by like code names or?
Huh?
Are you guys going by code names? You guys got numbers.
Yep, these are our new identities.
Yeah, these are, yeah.
We only identify as these numbers. You can only call us the numbers.
I love the name 87268.
I know, I chose it myself. It's wonderful, isn't it?
Feel very isolated, so I'm just gonna.
Everybody's on Alex's side of the aisle. I said everybody's on Alex's side of the aisle.
Everyone disperse equally.
Timer.
Hold on, make sure, hold on, I want to put my phone.
But now I feel like I'm not on the side.
Okay.
Good. I feel unloved.
Sam,
Just kidding.
That's right. There we go.
you got 1 minute left. Could you come here for the coin toss? Boom. Not yet, though. I'll announce the coin toss, then you'll do the coin toss. Thank you.
The official
So you're not sitting on.
The official flippist. You're a flippist.
You made it. You made a mistake.
I don't make mistakes.
All right.
Call yourself a flipper. You're not a flipper.
Flip you.
All right. I'll have you stand. I'll have you.
Whose heads, whose tails?
Ooh.
What do you want? What do you want? Okay, he's got tails.
Oh, I wanted heads. Perfect.
Yeah, look at that.
I'm really nervous.
Look how
I'm on
good
my
we
camera.
work
Nobody
together.
watch. Nobody watch.
Got the sand.
Come on. Oh, it's open. Duh.
Sam, don't screw this up.
The flippist.
On you. Pressure's on you.
I can't spell.
I just want to take one last opportunity to wish good luck.
Thank you.
They probably need
This
us.
is mute us to
Okay.
the online.
Hello, everybody. Thank you all for coming out. This is really close to my ear. Yeah, sorry. My name is Dakota Shapiro. I'm the Speaker Pro Tempore of the WSA Senate. I'm also this year's EBC co-chair, and I will be moderating this year's WSA Vice Presidential debate. A few things to say before we begin. If you want to ask questions to our candidates, for those in person and those at home, please go to Slido. That is sli.do. There's no .com. That's just weird. The code for Slido is in these three places. And for those at home, it should be on your screen. That code is 872-687. Again, 872-687, unless I'm reading that wrong. All your questions will be submitted through there. If you see a question on there that you particularly like, you have the option to give it a thumbs up. The more thumbs up a question gets, the higher in order it goes. It takes precedent over those who have been there before. So if a bunch of you find a question that you think is great, keep thumbs it up. It'll go to the top. Is that understood from those in the room? Yeah. I'm seeing head nods. Thank you. Thank you, Colin. With that said, we will begin with opening remarks. It'll be a coin toss to choose who goes first. Alex Lawrence is tails. Alicia Ewing is heads. Almost forgot the other half of a coin. Sam is our official coin flipper. So feel free to flip whenever you'd like.
Nobody watch.
Professional flippist right here.
And it's tails.
It's tails. So Alex Lawrence will be going first. He will have 1 minute and 30 seconds. Alicia Ewing will go next. She'll have 1 minute and 30 seconds. All questions will be answered by. They'll be answered first, flip-flopping. So he has opening remarks. She'll answer the first question, and then so on. Each candidate will have 1 minute to respond to a question. The other candidate will have 1 minute to answer that same question, 30 seconds to rebuttal, and then 1 minute to. You'll have 30 seconds to rebuttal. Don't mess with me. And then you'll have 1 minute to respond. And then if there happens to be a back and forth, like there's a actually heated moment, each candidate will get 2 30-second rebuttals to the other, totaling 4. So say Alicia, Alex, so on. All right, with that said, we'll just begin.
I'll just wait for you to sit down. Give it. All right. All right, cool. Good evening. Oh, are you on? Hello? Okay, yeah, okay. Good evening and happy Western Wednesday. My name is Alex Lawrence. I'm a senior majoring in political science with a concentration in public policy and minoring in communications and leadership and business strategy. I am running for student body vice president because WSA only works for the well-connected. Our voice, our WMU is a campaign slogan that aims to listen to all voices at Western Michigan University. We believe that WMU does not just compromise only students, but also comprises administrators, faculty members, custodians, landscapers, and everyone else a part of the WMU community. There is just one thing I would like to address. I want to be open and transparent with you all. I am set to graduate in the fall of 2022. This means I will be leaving halfway through the 2022-23 term. Some people have told me that it's unethical and morally wrong for me to even consider running for this position. My counter to that is, what is ethically wrong for a student who cares deeply about making their university a more inclusive place for all? Students shouldn't be hindered from trying to make their campus a better place based on their class standing. Again, I am very excited to be here with all of you this evening, and I look forward to sharing my passion for WMU this evening. Thank you.
Feel free to clap if you want to. You don't have to, but feel free to clap. You do not have to. What's that? I'm soliciting. Yes, I want this to be a good event. I put a lot of time into this. It's going to be good. Okay, you're up. Whatever you want.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Alicia Ewing. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I'm a second-year student studying chemical and paper engineering. Last year, I served as one of WSA's senators for the Lee Honors College, and through this experience, I found a love for hearing, communicating, and addressing student concerns. This year, I've loved serving as WSA's Vice President for Student Affairs because it has allowed me to continue this work, but on a larger scale. I'm running with Eric because we are both committed to serving the student body through engaging, educating, and empowering students. We believe that the current WSA administration has done an incredible job and with taking steps towards a more accessible, sustainable, and inclusive WMU and WSA. And we know that work cannot end. We are committed to maintaining these ideas and helping WSA become an even better resource for the student body. We both value communication, collaboration, and consistency, and apparently have a thing for alliteration, and are confident that we will be able to build a team to lead WSA in making even more progress towards its goal of creating change the student body wants to see. We have proven our commitment to the student body and to WSA through constant and consistent commitment to our organization, and we are so excited to see what the future holds. I'm looking forward to continuing my service to the student body next year, and I know that under mine and Eric's leadership, WSA would continue to build both its internal culture and external presence to best serve the students of WMU.
Thank you both for those opening remarks. Once again, feel free to log on to Slido to submit questions. With that said, we will begin. Again, to remind everyone, each candidate has 1 minute to answer their question, and then 30-second rebuttal. So again, if Alex were to answer a question, spend his 1 minute doing it, Alicia has the option to rebuttal whatever he says for 30 seconds, and then we can go into a back and forth, and then answer your question for a minute, answer how you would do it.
Okay.
Or if you'd like, you can rebuttal and do your thing in 1 minute. Up to you. Figure it out. With that said, we're going to go into our first question. Number one at the, ooh, no, that is not number one at the top. Got a lot of pluses. Okay. First question. What is your best and worst quality, and what do you think is the best and worst quality of your running mate? This goes to Alicia first. Would you like that repeated?
Yes, please.
What is your best and worst quality, and what do you think is the best and worst quality of your running mate?
Okay. So I believe that my best quality is my, I guess, strive for perfection. I would also consider that my worst quality because sometimes that leads me to have too high of expectations for people. But I think that working with people so much throughout WSA, my experience within WSA has helped teach me a lot about overcoming those expectations. I think that Alex's best quality is how passionate he is. He's an incredibly passionate and driven person, and I've known that since the moment I met him. And his worst quality, I think that sometimes he expresses his opinions very strongly. And I think that you can agree with that, I hope.
Do I get a minute?
Yeah, you do. However, the question was, what is the best and worst quality of your running mate, not your...
Oh,
Like, would you like Though you are free to make fun of your running mate. No, I'm joking.
I'm sorry.
Or not your running mate, but would you like 30 seconds?
I like that question a lot better now. I was like, who asked that?
Would you like 30?
You can say the worst and best qualities about me too. Do you want me to answer?
Would you like 30 seconds to do that?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Eric, I think that his best quality is how driven he is. He is really good at getting things done, and he's a really good problem solver, and I really appreciate that about him. I think his worst quality is that he can sometimes struggle with seeing people as people, but I think that my love for people kind of balances that out really well.
Thank you. Alex?
All right, so I think my best quality, like Alicia said, is I'm very passionate about my work and what I believe in. My worst quality, like she said, she answered it for me, is I can be very strong opinionated, and that might come off as aggressive when I don't necessarily mean for it to come off aggressive. I am very passionate, and I think I lead with my emotions a lot, which isn't necessarily bad, but it can make things a little controversial sometimes. As for Chang Kid, I think one of his strong qualities is his work ethic. He works so hard in everything he does. Like this year in WSA, he came in new, and he really worked it. And
Time's up.
Okay.
I'd like to also, as we're done, I'm going to change something. I'm going to change the rules because I said something really dumb earlier. Each one of you has 1 minute to answer the question. Once you both have answered, then you can rebuttal. I think it's weird to have rebuttals in between. That was really dumb. It's been a long day. Yeah. So with that said, do either of you have a 30-second rebuttal for the other?
You want to do me? Like my best and worst qualities?
I don't think I have anything bad to say about
I feel
you.
really bad.
No, it's okay. Alicia, she's so sweet. She cares deeply about students and cares about helping students. I think if one of her worst qualities is sometimes she can stay quiet. And in some ways, I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but that's something that I've noticed about her. So yeah.
Alicia, do you have anything you'd like to say in return?
I don't think so.
Awesome. All right, on to our next question. Alex will be answering this one first. One might argue that both of your running mates are notorious for lacking empathy. In what ways is your campaign working to address and remedy this?
Yes. That would be an accurate assessment. Chang Kid, sometimes he's focused in work, and that kind of hinders him from, getting him out a little more so people know him. But once you get to know him, he's just this amazing, sweet person. We've been working on that a lot lately, is trying to get him to loosen up a little bit. I think Alicia and I are both loosey-goosey people, where Eric and Chang Kid can both be, stern. But that's something we've been working on, is trying to get Chang Kid to be more loosey-goosey, as I would put it.
Is that the end? Yep. Alicia?
Yeah, I think Alex hit it right on the nose. I agree that both of our running mates are a little bit lacking in the EQ department. But yeah, I think that Eric and I have I think this year we've become actual friends outside of colleagues, and I've gotten to see how much that he cares about people, despite how that comes across. And yeah, I'm not afraid to call him out when he's being rude to people, and when he's seeing them as a problem to be solved instead of as a human being. And I think that anybody who's worked on the Constitution with us can kind of attest to that. Yeah, I'm not afraid to stand up to him, and I think that's how we're working well together right now.
All right. Would either of you like to rebuttal the other or say anything after that? Another point I'd like to make, I'm noticing that people are having questions directed towards individual candidates. So with those, the candidate by which this question was directed to will answer. The other candidate will have 1 minute to say something in response to that. Is that understood? Yes. Does that make sense? Does that sound good? And does that sound like good logic?
Yes.
Okay, long day. All right, next question that Alicia will be answering. How have you maintained the integrity of the WSA?
I think that me personally, I have done a lot to make sure that WSA is as welcoming as possible. I think that a lot of what integrity has to do with WSA is how we ourselves are defining WSA, and I think that that's been up in the air a lot within these past few years because of COVID and transitions in leadership. I think that WSA's integrity may have been lost for a little bit. I think that people were kind of settling into what WSA was to them because there were a lot of incoming people who were brand new at the same time. So I think that for me, a lot of it has been figuring out what exactly WSA is and what it should be to students. And yeah, I've just been doing my best at spreading what I see and talking to people about what they see and addressing concerns and yes, just making WSA what we want it to be.
Alex?
Just rebuttal?
No, this is not an individual question. I'm saying we have those coming up. No, this is.
I've been around WSA for a long time. I am kind of like a senior vet of WSA, so I've seen it go through its ups and downs. Last year, I think we lost really what WSA meant. I personally left the organization because WSA wasn't, I kind of just lost faith in it. I lost all confidence in it, and that's a regret of mine. I should have stayed in and stuck it out to make it better, and I'm back this year. I'm really just trying to bring a new vision to WSA, bringing it back to what it's supposed to be, which is unify students, amplify their voices, and provide new opportunities to leave a legacy. Our vision is empowering students to make an impact together, and I think that's both Alicia and I have done a really good job at that this year.
Rebuttals from either of you?
I don't have anything.
Awesome. You neither? All right. That one. Go away question. Okay. Next question. This one's directed towards Alex. So again, you'll have time to respond to that too if you'd like. Alex, over the years you have voiced that you hate WSA and have quit it. How can we trust you not to do this again?
Listen here, like I just said in my previous question, this kind of led into it. Again, I'm a very opinionated person. I wouldn't go to say I hate WSA. I was frustrated with WSA, and I ended up leaving the organization because of my personal differences with the leadership in that time. Like I said, that is a big regret of mine. I should have stuck it out. I should have made it there and, made it better. I came back to the organization this year with those understandings that I would have to, do better as a student leader. And I think I've done that. I have nothing but love and support for WSA. I wouldn't be standing up here today if I didn't love and support WSA and love for our student body. So that's all I have to say on that.
You have anything you'd like to say? You will get 1 minute.
So I'm not going to say anything about Alex and his decisions because I'm not Alex and I didn't make those decisions. But I can say that Eric and I, we joined WSA as freshmen in our respective freshman years, but neither of us have ever quit. Neither of us have ever left. We've been consistent leaders within WSA. And yeah, I think we've both seen and experienced how much it hurts for WSA leadership to leave at various points in the school year. And I think that that's something that we want to focus on. We want to focus on building a team that's going to stick around and a team that's going to stay consistent all year.
Is that all? Okay. You have the opportunity to rebuttal.
I'm all set, thank you.
All set? Okay, and then, obviously. Next question. How have you engaged students on the campaign trail? Alicia will go first since the last question was directed at Alex.
Yeah, so in campaigning, we have been visiting RSOs. We've been reaching out to RSOs, asking them if we could kind of just explain our campaign platform. And our strategy was to go to the RSO and start with a Q&A, literally practicing what we preach. Our first pillar of our campaign is engage, and that's the first thing that we do when we talk to RSOs. We also are planning on tabling around campus as we get closer to the election, just so that people see us out and about, so people know who we are. And yeah, I think just practicing what we preach and making the active effort to go out and engage the student body before we're even elected, before the election.
Is that all?
Yep.
Alex, you're up.
Yeah, our campaign slogan is Our Voice, Our WMU, which means, and it's in our first pillar, Amplify. That's all about giving students a safe place to voice their concerns. Chen Kid and I have been going around to RSOs as well, giving them the chance to share their concerns. And we plan to do some tabling here around campus here on the last week of campaigning to continue that. We also, on our page, we have a form specifically for students to share anything they would like, concerns with how WSA is doing, concerns how university administration is, or just anything really that the students have concern about or have opinions on. That is our foundation of this campaign, is voicing, amplifying students' voices.
That's all? Okay. Rebuttals?
I'm good.
You're good? Good? Okay. Oh my God, work. Okay. Alex will be answering this question first. Both slates seem to have tenured individuals, people involved in the WSA for 3+ years. How will you combat too much continuity of control?
Ooh, good question. Yes, I've been around WSA. I was a senator. I currently am serving as the vice president for political affairs. But to answer that, I don't look at it as, I know power. We've seen a lot of issues here in this organization with about power grabbing. It's all about the power, which I've never really. I've always kept the students in mind. It's not about, students give us, the student government, the power to act in the best interests of them. So that's all I really had to say on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I, like Alex, don't really see it as a struggle of too much continuity of power, I think was the wording. I see it, if Eric and I were to win, as an opportunity to continue the work that the administration right now is doing. I think it's really important to have consistency in an organization, especially when we're trying to reframe and rework ourselves as we are with this new constitution. I think it's really important to have people leading who know the Constitution, the governing documents intimately and, yeah, like the back of their hand. I personally know it better than the back of my hand at this point. But yeah, I see it as more of a strength than a weakness. I think also including members of cabinet, our advising team, including people outside of WSA currently, is also a good idea to keep that in check if that were ever to be a problem.
Is that all? Any rebuttals? Nope. What are your thoughts? Alicia will be answering this question first. What are your thoughts on Robert's rules, and what would you like to change about them?
Robert's rules. I know my running partner may disagree with me on this one, but I think that Robert's rules, as they are right now and how we're using them right now, they're more of a hindrance to our legislature. I think that it makes us less accessible as an organization. And I think that if we were either to loosen them or do away with them completely, obviously replace them with something else. But I think that if we were to do that, we would become a much more accessible organization. I know that our speakers this year have been doing a ton in trying to mitigate those effects of our inaccessibility due to Robert's rules, and they've been doing an excellent job, and I think just continuing that. And I think the first step was realizing this is something that's hurting us more than it's helping us.
Is that all? Alex?
I would have to agree with Alicia on everything she said. I personally was a big fan of Robert's rules through my time, but as the time's gone on, I've noticed that it really does hinder accessibility for students. We waste a lot of time in meetings because it's so confusing. Robert's Rules is so confusing, and if we just loosen up those a little bit, make it more accessible, less complex, we would be able to do a lot more than just what does that mean? Move the previous question. What does that mean? Those types of things. I do think that Robert's Rules does hinder. I think it is a tool sometimes used to gatekeep. Noticed that, went to a student government conference a couple weeks ago, and we noticed that Robert's Rules they used it as gatekeeping, but I think we can loosen the reins on Robert's Rules.
Time's up. Sorry, that sounds really harsh. What time is it?
We know it's you. We love it.
All right, any rebuttals?
No?
Nope, okay. Oh, another one directed at Alex. So again, Alex can answer.
Are you going to balance them out? Like, are you going to choose?
Well, they're going based on precedent on what people thumbs up. So they either will go based on when they were submitted or who has the most liked. So that's just how I'm getting them.
Okay.
If people do send one your way and it makes it to the top, which I assume it will, you'll get that one. All right. Again, you'll have a chance to reply to this as well. Alex, how do you think that your strong opinions/feelings toward admin will affect the relationship WSA worked to build this year?
The administration knows I have strong feelings and strong opinions about their leadership and what they're doing at the university, but I'm always open to conversation. That's something that I've always been open up about, is having a conversation. I am not going to sit here and demand things from the university, because that has proven unsuccessful through previous administrations. But I just want to let the administration know that me and Chen Kid will continue the progress that the current administration has about keeping, rebuilding administrations previously torn down by the previous administration. We've noticed that the only way to get things done is if we all come to the table together and actually have conversations rather than demanding things.
Alicia, would you like to?
I think that Alex is right. I agree with him on the fact that we need to be compromising and having conversations instead of making demands. I think that a lot of people, when they think of student government, they make a demand and then change happens, but that's not actually how it works. I think that we can all attest to the fact that we need to have conversations, real conversations, not just like, oh, I'm going to talk about this, but I'm not really going to compromise I'm not really going to compromise on anything. I think that that's really important. That's something that we've been talking a lot about in WSA, and I think that that's something that should be an integral part of our culture. We should be having conversations, not making demands, and I think that myself and Eric have good relationships with the administrators, and we do have good reputations for being able to have those conversations.
Any rebuttals? Okay. Alex had the last question, so Alicia will have this one. First, as someone who has no confidence in either slate, can you please convince me why I should choose your slate? Starting with Alicia.
Okay. I'm sad that somebody doesn't have confidence in either slate, because I believe that either slate will do a good job. I think that no matter who wins, WSA will be in good and capable hands. I'm sorry that you don't feel the same way. I think that, speaking for Eric and I, we are committed student leaders, and we've proved that we're committed to this organization. We've proved that we care about the students and that we will get things done. Like I was saying, we prioritize having conversations over, fulfilling our own agendas. And yeah, I'm honestly just really sad right now. I think that Eric and I, our pillars are a three-step process to engage, educate, and empower. And yeah, I mean, I don't want you guys to out yourself right now, but if any of you have any questions, concerns with our campaign, we more than welcome questions.
I would have to echo what Alicia said. I'm sorry to the person who feels that way, and we are open, me and Chen Kid are open having conversations about your concerns. But as for, I think, why you should have confidence in us is that our campaign is focused on amplifying student voices through, holding safe spaces like this to voice concerns, holding regular forums with WSA administration, university administration, opening up our cabinet meetings to be more transparent about what we do in the WSA, about what your student leaders are actively doing. Our next step is progress, is taking those voices, those concerns, and making progress through elevating, through sustainable and equitable solutions, and then sustain just to leave a system that will be used to serve as a tool for the next generation of Broncos. Thank you.
Okay, any rebuttals? Good? Good? All right, we're on. Next one, how will you, both candidates, Alex will be answering this one first, get the incoming freshmen next year aware of the WSA and how they can get active with it, whether they join it or don't?
Yeah, I find it best that we go and meet the students where they are. We can't always be expected of them to come to us. Definitely, we will give them many opportunities to come to us, but I think in this day and age, we have an engagement issue here at the university with student engagement, especially COVID-19 pandemic hurting that. People are scared to come back and engage again, so that is going to be a top priority of our administration. Like I said, we are going to go to students, if that is, going to continue going to RSO's meetings, continue tabling in different areas of campus, going to the aviation campus regularly, going to the engineering campus regularly, going to the medical campus regularly. We need to be meeting where the students are. I've seen this. Students sometimes just do not want to come to us. And then we're all here just, we're wondering why. And it's, we have to go meet where the students are. And I think, university administration need to take a look on that as well, too. Thank you.
Alicia?
Yeah, I agree with everything that Alex said, except the fact that he said we can almost, or we sometimes can't rely on the students to come to us, or no, to come to us. I would say that we can never rely on the students to come to us, because I think that we get lucky when students do come to us. I think I have a unique perspective. My freshman year being the first full year of the pandemic, I'm only part of WSA because I Googled WMU student government and WSA came up. So I think that I echo the importance that he stressed on going out, going to the students. Tabling, I personally love tabling. I know that a lot of people don't, but I do love it because it gets us out there, it gets our name out there, and it lets people know that we're there for them. And I think that beyond us promoting ourselves, we also need to teach other RSOs that tabling is one of the best resources for them.
Rebuttals?
Yeah, I just wanted to echo.
Yeah, let me get the timer. Okay, go.
I just want, are you good?
Yeah.
All right, I just want to echo one more thing. WSA, we have Western Wednesdays. That's a great opportunity for students to invite RSOs to come and sit and table with us. We're there. The student body can count on us being there every Wednesday from this certain time. This hasn't been happening this year, which I've been really disappointed in, but this is something that I would like to bring back, and I would hope that, Eric and Alicia would bring back as well.
Rebuttal?
Agreed.
Great, okay. All right, next one. Alex answered last, so Alicia will answer first, because I didn't remember. Why didn't you run for president?
Why didn't I run for president? I did not run for president because I have 3 more years left at this university. I think that that's a strength. I think that I see that as 3 more years that I can serve the student body, but I also see that as 3 more years to learn. And when and if I do run for president, I want to be the best prepared that I can be. And I think that if I can utilize these next 2 years before my last year, that would be amazing, and I could be an even better president than before. I don't want it to turn into a power grab. If I were to run for president 3 years in a row, I don't think that's right. So yeah, I just would like more time to learn, and yes.
Yeah, why didn't I run for president? Well, a few months back, I did think about running for president, but I decided at that time that it wasn't really something that at that point in time I didn't really want to commit to. I wanted to see what other awesome student leaders came up to take the plate. And then what sparked my interest in becoming vice president is Chang Kid. Chang Kid came to me and talked about his platform, and I was really bought in on it. I also saw the opportunity to give students more options. At that point, there was only one slate intending to run, and I thought that the students deserved another choice, and I thought that as an experienced student leader, I had, some more to offer.
I have something.
Hang on. Go.
Yeah, so I want to echo exactly what Alex just said. I sincerely appreciate you and Chang Kid for running. I was not comfortable with being the WSA leadership when we weren't a choice. I think that the students deserve to have a choice. And yeah, even if campaigning is hard and even if election season is hard, I believe that the students have the right to choose.
Yeah, I would just like to rebuttal. I agree with Alicia. I think Eric, Alicia, Chang Kid, and I have, had many conversations about just wanting to show unity to the student body. That's just very important that we need in this time. We saw, how volatile things can be during this time. And at the end of the day, we both just wanted to, both slates wanted to show unity.
You guys do have two more if you want to keep
I have like one more sentence.
like one more. Okay.
I would just like to emphasize that whoever, even if I don't win, even if whatever, it's not a loss. You have 4 excellent student leaders up here, and no matter who wins, like I said, WSA is in capable hands.
Do you want to use your last one?
Just echo what she said. No matter who wins or loses, we're all going to support each other at the end of the day.
This is why we're cabinet buddies.
Yes,
Same brain.
cabinet buddies, yes.
Next question. Who answered last? Was that you? You answered last. Yeah.
My turn?
Okay, yeah. You'll be answering this next one.
Okay.
If you lose this election, what are your plans to continue within the WSA, if at all?
Yes. Don't worry, everyone. I plan to stay in WSA. I believe that, I owe that to the students' bodies, and I owe that to myself. I care deeply about students and everything, and if I were to stay, if I were to lose and continue to work in WSA, I would be open to any opportunity to continue to serve in WSA. If that is staying in this role that I'm currently in, political affairs, I really enjoy that. We have an election coming up here in 2022, and I would like to, stay on if possible, and help the WSA, help get students out to vote, and things along that. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my hesitancies about running in this election was because I kind of wanted to stay in student affairs. I really enjoy the work that I do. I really enjoy being a part of cabinet and leading WSA, but also going out and hearing student concerns, because that's one of my favorite things about WSA. And yeah, I would be completely happy with being student affairs again, or any other position that next year's administration would pick me for.
Rebuttal?
Yeah.
Real good? Yeah. Next question. Alicia first. Do you support the WSA delegation walking out of the United Student Governments of Michigan Conference? Why or why not?
That's a good question. I do support them because I believe that decision was a calculated one. I don't think it was rash. I didn't think that it was uncalled for, because the conference was not what it advertised itself to be. It did not hold to the, I guess, moral boundaries. I think the conference was an hour and a half over by the point they walked out or something. And I think that at some point you have to draw the line and say enough is enough. And I honestly applaud the people who were at that conference for drawing that line and saying, we're not going to stand for this, we're not going to be bullied, and we're not going to let these other schools be bullied either.
All right. Yeah, I was a member of that delegation, and I 100% support our team's decision to leave that conference. Through that entire day, bigger schools like MSU and U of M's needs and wants were put above the smaller schools, and it just got to the point where we just felt like, we weren't. Just frustrating. We felt like we were just being disrespected. Other universities, delegations felt that way. And at the end of the day, WSA, we learned that we do student government way different than other universities, and I think we do it better. I will be biased in that point, and at the end of the day, we weren't going to damage our morals any longer. So,
Rebuttals? None from you either? Nope. All right, Alicia, you finally do have one directed at you, and it's a very popular one.
Ooh.
So and then again, you'll get a minute to respond. Alicia, what do you have to say about the continued attempts to change rules, tighten restrictions, and attempts/times you and Eric have disqualified opponents?
Times that I've disqualified opponents?
Attempts/times you and Eric have disqualified opponents. So I think the question is more. Oh, you want me to repeat it?
Yeah, can you repeat it?
Alicia, what do you have to say about the continued attempts to change rules, tighten restrictions, and attempts/times you and Eric have disqualified opponents?
Okay, if this is in terms of the election, I would say that the EPC sets the rules before anything starts, and every candidate is aware of the rules before they start campaigning, before they even sign up. So I don't think that tightening restrictions is applicable in that sense. We're changing, I think they said tightening restrictions and changing the rules. The rules can't be changed because the EPC passed them before all this started, and it's their responsibility to hold those in place. And if people are breaking the rules, then I believe that they should be held accountable for them. I don't know what else to say on that one.
I think that's an irrelevant question, and I'm not going to respond to that at all.
No rebuttals, I guess? Obviously not. Alicia, you do have another one. Again, another popular one.
Ooh.
Alicia, how do you plan to address Eric's tendency to pick and choose which rules apply to him and others?
Okay, so I think that this question is based on the fact that he's running the joint sessions right now, and I think that that's where that's coming from. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I'm going to answer it like that's right. I think that problem will be resolved if we pass the new constitution, because the vice president won't be running the meetings. I think that I recognize it as a problem, and I think that it's something that is worth looking at and worth addressing. And I think that we are. I think that we've talked about situations where people thought that happened, and kind of talked about what happened, what people thought happened, and how we can fix it moving forward.
Yeah, I'll respond to that. There has been instances where this would happen, or people would think this happened. But Eric has come up and asked, was this too, and I've always been honest with Eric about, where it would seem like he was crossing the line a little bit, and he has always taken that into consideration, and he's been doing a lot better in that. I think personally, I've seen him doing a lot better in that regard.
I have something else to say.
Hang on.
Yeah. So I appreciate Alex for saying that. I think that feedback is very important to Eric. I think that we can both agree on that. And I think that while he might not be aware of how his actions are impacting other people in the moment, because we already talked about our partner's lack of EQ, but I think that while he doesn't recognize it in the moment, he is good at recognizing it after the fact and preventing it from happening again.
You have a
Yeah, just to echo her, Eric, takes feedback in the moment. He might be a little heated and you might not want to hear it. But too bad, so sad. You're going to hear it. You're a student leader. You're going to hear it regardless. You're going to hear the good things. You're going to hear the bad things. But Eric always, he might be a little flustered in the moment, and we're all like, well, Eric, calm down. It's like not that big of a deal, And, he takes his time to, relax and think a little bit more, and he comes back, and he's like, I know that I was wrong. And that's very important.
Time's up. Sorry, 3 seconds up. You each have one more rebuttal if you'd like to continue.
Good.
Delicious, you're good? All right. This one's at Alex. You two have a popular one. Alex, it is rumored that Chang Kid will also be graduating. What are your plans for second semester if you both graduate?
Yes, it is true that Chang Kid and I are both planning to graduate here in December 2022. Chang Kid is currently applying to grad school, so there's that option. But in the case where we both have to leave because we graduate, we both resign from our positions. We promise to leave the student government and student body in good hands. Make sure we have a kick, ass, chief of staff who would be filling that vacancy, and entrust the chief of staff to pick an amazing VP. I know it's scary that people have come up to me and said, you guys are graduating. Like, is that like a scary thing? And people say that's a scary thing for the organization and that's a scary thing for the student body. But I want to assure you that we will leave this organization in good hands, no matter when or win or not graduate.
You have anything you'd like to respond with? You? Okay.
I won't lie to you. That is also my biggest concern with our opponent's slate. I think that, like I said before, Eric and I have seen the turnover that happens, and a lot of you have seen it too. What happens when people leave halfway through the year or halfway through the semester? It's really hard on the team. It affects the team's dynamic and just decreases in efficiency a lot. We've experienced that this year. We experienced that last year. It's something that's happened, and I think Eric and I, one of our biggest goals is to try to mitigate that by picking people for our cabinet who are committed and aren't going to leave halfway through the year. Like I said, I think that WSA is in good hands regardless of who wins, but I do think that Eric and I offer consistency in leadership, and I think that's one of our strengths.
Rebuttal?
No.
All right. Another one for Alex. Alex, how many people did Chang Kid approach before he approached you?
That's a question I think that can be asked of both the slates. I think many slates had that issue of going up and asking people over and over again. And it's like it comes back to the engagement issue, or just seeing, how like this organization has functioned in the past. People are hesitant to step up into that role, even just personally hesitant to step into the role. Those are big shoes to fill. At the end of the day, Chang Kid and I, he came to me and I accepted. I really don't care about how many people he approached before. I think all those people were good leaders, and they just decided that they wanted to sit it out. And that happens every year. A couple of years ago, I was running for vice president, but before then I had aspirations to run for president. And I had to ask quite a few individuals, because it's a big role to step in and it's intimidating. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
All right.
I don't have anything.
Don't have anything? Okay. If you don't have anything, then no rebuttals can be made. Thank you. Oh, dang it.
Good.
I just deleted one.
Oh no.
I don't know how to undo it. Oh, someone's question is gone. All right. Alicia will answer this one first. Can you explain how your pillars are more than just buzzwords?
Yeah, I think that our three pillars, if anybody's unfamiliar with them, it's engage, educate, and empower. I think that more than just pillars, they're a three-step process, which is how we've been describing them. They are not just words they're not just values that we can't act on, they're actions to take. They, in my opinion, should be integrated into every aspect of WSA. I think that these three pillars or steps embody what WSA is, or if it's not what it is, then what it should be. I think that by definition, our words are not just pillars. They're literally action words.
Yeah, we have three pillars as well. Amplify, progress, and sustain. To be honest, Chen Kid and I were trying to avoid the three, because that's typical every year. But Chen Kid and I decided these are just not going to be promises. These are going to be plans, and these are going to be actions. An approach we want to take is a campus community approach, and that emphasizes, greater collaboration, coordination across departmental and organizational boundaries to eliminate and optimize, things, optimize resources, create synergies among other agencies around this campus. We also would like to bring a council together with all staff partners. Staff student assessment fee. Students pay into that money, and that gets divided between CAB, WSA, the allocations commission, and a couple other orgs. We would like to come together and build a council to where we can engage a lot more and collaborate more.
Rebuttals?
No.
No? All right. This one's directed at Alex. Alex, why have you threatened to go to the Herald when you don't get your way when working with university partners instead of continuing conversations?
I would say that I don't stop conversations. I think I am an activist. I am an advocate for students. And students have a right to know what's going on. A lot of times students do not know what's going on. And I will use any resource to get the word out, to let students know what are going on in their campus community. If that's going to the Western Herald, to get attention, to show administration that students are concerned about this specific topic, I will do anything to get the attention that students deserve. I don't say that I would eliminate conversation. I think it's just another tactic to use to get, other points of views other than my points of views. That's opportunity for all students to take. And I am a student of Western Michigan University. I am here to advocate for students and not just myself, and I will take every avenue to make that happen.
Alicia, would you like to say something in return?
No.
Okay. All right, Alicia, we'll take this one first. Both of you were invited to work on the new Constitution. How did you assist in the writing of this new document?
Yeah, so as most of you know, the Governing Process Committee is not my committee within Project X. I am proudly one of the chairs of the Organization, Culture, and Operations. That's where my heart was to begin with. I honestly was not that interested in helping write the Constitution, but when I got invited to, and they said that they needed more help, I was like, okay, I'll help if you need help. So I ended up spending countless hours in the SOC, being there past midnight, many nights. And yeah, I'm really proud to say that I was a part of helping to write the Constitution, and not only write it, edit it, which is almost arguably the harder part, having to sit there and go line by line through every single line, talking about the tiny details that do matter a lot. And I'm proud to say that I was a part of that, and I think that our entire team is extremely proud of what we created.
Alex?
Yeah, I was the chair of the Governing Processes Committee. Due to, school and things, I kind of got the ball rolling, and then due to school, I needed to take a step back, student first. So, and it moved into amazing hands of, not even cabinet members. This was done by representatives and senators, Senator Sam Longlet and Representative Layla Stein. Those two came in and took it over, and I think that's what it should be. I don't think cabinet members, it should be all cabinet members. Anyone who wants to I thought this process was open. We gave many opportunities for students to come in and give input. This was, this happened 2 years ago, and I can say that this has by far been a more open process than previously. And I'm happy to have been a part of this, and I commend all of everyone on our team who did a great job.
Can I say something?
You may.
This isn't a rebuttal, but I am a very big person on recognition, and I see this as an opportunity to recognize our team. So it makes me very happy that everybody's here right now, but Sam, Lila, Alexis, Colin, Eric, Dakota, and Griffin, yeah.
Yep.
You guys are amazing, and I've loved getting to work with you, and we did a lot of good work, and I'm really proud of us.
Rebuttal?
Yeah, I forgot about the team. I'm so sorry. Love all of you. Great job. Couldn't have done this without you guys.
You also have 2 rebuttals each, if you still want to keep using them. Okay. That's done. Go away. Okay. Alicia, you answer this one first, right?
Yes.
One first.
Yeah, I
You
did
did.
first.
You did? No,
No, I did.
No, you didn't. You did.
I did.
You did. Your answer is
Right. Sorry.
What do you believe your opponent has failed on in the past, and what are their shortcomings?
All right, this is my opponent this time.
Yeah.
Not my running mate.
Yes, you're
You're
first.
That's a hard question. I think Alicia has done amazing work. She has been amazing working on Mental Health Week. She worked on a campus PADS initiative that would bring housing, and that failed not because of her, because of the university. I don't think as what I've seen, she hasn't really failed on anything. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Alicia?
Yeah, I appreciate your kind words, Alex. I really do. I also am struggling to come up with something that Alex has failed on. I know that he's a really hard worker and really passionate. The only thing that comes to mind is that he wasn't present for the entire governing process committee, like every single meeting. But honestly, at the end of the day, he prioritized his mental health. He prioritized his academic life in front of WSA, which I think takes a lot of strength. And I admire that he made those decisions. So yeah, I think that's all I can come up with.
Rebuttals?
Yeah, I'll just rebuttal that. Yeah, I'm personally disappointed that I couldn't have been a bigger part in that process. To this day, I'm still feel guilty about it. But at the end of the day, I thank my team for supporting me and giving me the space that I need to get well, do well academically. We are students first. I prioritize that above everything else. I've noticed that, I've trial and error. You got to prioritize your academics and your mental health first, always.
Done. Sorry, again, so rude.
No, it's okay, Dakota.
All right, we have time for one more question. You started, so you're starting next. Who do you want to be your executive chief of staff should you win? As this role will be selected through the student body, it is imperative that we know.
Okay. Ordinarily, I would say that I wouldn't want to say that because we haven't chosen them yet, and we want to give everybody a fair choice or a fair shot at the position. Since it's going to be an interviewed one this year, if this new constitution passes, they will be running as a slate. So I will tell you who I would want on our slate if that was in effect this year, and that would be Colin Holzberger, because I think that he embodies that position excellently. I think that as of right now, there's no other person in my mind who I could see filling that position as well as he would. And I think that ever since we started talking about this position, he's become even more who I would want my chief of staff to be.
Yeah. It will be an open interview process, so everyone is, but I do have, we do have one person in mind, and again, it is Colin Holzberger. Like, echo what Alicia said, he embodies everything what WSA is and is supposed to be. He is an amazing team player. He's running back and forth in meetings, back and forth, making sure that everything is running smoothly. He has a great sense of what WSA is and what is supposed to be, and he would be, an amazing choice as chief of staff.
Rebuttals?
Nope.
Nope. All right. As we are reaching less than 5 minutes, we'll enter into closing remarks. Again, thank you everyone for submitting your questions. I apologize to those whose questions didn't make it. Feel free to ask the candidates whenever you'd like. With that said, Alice went first for opening, so Alicia goes first for closing. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds.
All right, I would like to start by thanking the EPC for all their hard work throughout this election season. I think we can all agree that regulating an election is not the easiest thing to do. So I'd like to express my thanks to them for all that they do. I'd also like to thank our audience members tonight. We are so appreciative that you took the time out of your day to hear us and what we have to say. And we hope that you are walking away from this tonight with hope for WMU, WSA, and the ideas that both of our campaigns bring to the table. Eric and I believe that our three-step process to engage, educate, and empower the student body is a two-way street. We believe that the student body is a resource for us just as much as we believe WSA to be a resource for them. By engaging with students, they can educate us on what ideas work, and with the knowledge that we have heard them, they can walk away with the confidence that their student government genuinely cares about them and what they have to say. To stay up to date with our campaign, please follow us on Instagram at WMU.123. We hope that you will vote on Experience WMU from March 21st through 25th, and keep us in mind as you do. Eric and I are beyond excited for the future of WSA, and we hope that you are too. Remember that we are E&E for simplicity, and we believe in a simple three-step process that will allow us to best serve the student body, and we hope that you do too. Thank you.
I am going to keep my remarks short. I want to thank again the EPC for putting all this together and running this amazing election. Hopefully it stays, stays great. I also want to thank you, the audience, for coming out and sharing your questions with us. That is all about what Our Voice, Our WMU is about, is we want to actively hear students' voices. We want to amplify those voices. We want to elevate them by, making sustainable and equitable change, and we want to make sure that we leave a system in place to ensure that if for generations of Broncos to come, you can follow our Instagram page at Our WMU for more information. We also have a link tree that has our mission and vision in there, also as well as a form if you have any questions or concerns you would like to bring forward. Again, we are here to amplify your voices, so we offer that as well. Also remember to vote March 21st and March 25th through March 25th on Experience WMU. And then I just want to leave us with this, our WSA's mission. WSA, we exist to unify students, amplify their voices, and provide new opportunities to leave a legacy. Empowered students, empowering students to make an impact together. Thank you so much.
That said, that will conclude our WSA Vice Presidential debate. In 2 weeks' time, March 16th, we'll have the presidential debate, ideally here, if they don't change this again, from 7 to 8 p.m. Please come out for that. And thank you all for coming. And that
Can we
concludes.
say happy birthday to Alexa?
Fine. Oh, we're going to sing happy birthday to Alexis Morrison.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, I hate this. Happy
birthday, dear Alexis. Happy birthday to you. That was fun. You want to take a picture?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes.
Like your phone.
That was so much fun.
I need, where's my phone?